They are looking past the violence. They are looking past all of the negative things that cause indigenous people to move out of these communities. They're looking past all of that, and they're looking straight at the investment opportunity. Straight at the investment opportunity. And what we want our community members to also start to understand is that you also have to look at this from an investor's perspective, and you have to look at this from a long-term perspective. Yes, there are certain communities right now that you would not want to walk down the street 10, 11 o'clock at night. But there are also communities that used to be like that 10, 15 years ago. They are not like that anymore. The transformation that we call gentrification is coming to a community near you. If it has not already been there, it is coming. If you are living in a community that hasn't gone through recent gentrification, just give it a little more time. It is coming, because gentrification is the nature of real estate development. Once you develop an area, you don't stop developing. You have to continue to look for areas to develop. And the areas that are under the purview right now for development are the ones that we see as dilapidated, the ones that we see as crime ridden, the ones that we see as drug infested. That is where the prime property is, because that is where the cheapest entry point is. Okay. And so what we want to do is we want to gentrify or be a part of the gentrification of the communities that we live in. Instead of outside people coming in and gentrifying these areas, we want to be a part of that gentrification so that we can reap the benefits of that gentrification, but we don't want to stop there. Project 5000, and more particularly the New Life Movement, wants to impress upon the community that we cannot have a true community if we do not own the real estate in that community, if we do not own and operate the stores in that community. You hear what I'm saying? If we don't operate the businesses in that community, and we don't have a personal relationship with the aldermen in that community, we cannot call that our community. We are just living there. We are just housed there. Okay? That is not a community of the people. A community of the people is owned, operated by the people. Okay? And so we are not just pushing flipping houses, family. We are talking about taking back the block. It doesn't just include buying the houses and flipping them, or buying the houses and renting them out at affordable prices. We're talking about going into the commercial properties and making sure that our people continue to develop small businesses and develop them into larger businesses. Okay, we want to make sure that the economic engine that fuels the community is not leaving. The money isn't leaving. The funding isn't leaving. It's circulating within that community. Okay, family? That's what we want to imbibe you with, and that is what we want to push. Okay? BOP Project 5000 is an initiative. It's actually an acronym, BOP, Building Our Posterity, that lends itself to the idea that our children are not our future. We are our children's future. If we do not develop some safety nets, some social safety nets, if we don't develop some platforms upon which they can stand, they will not have a solid future. Okay? So with BOP Project 5000 and New Life Movement, we want to flip that perspective. No, we are our children's future. We assist in helping our children build a future. Okay? Our children are not our future. We're going to be up out of here. We have more years behind us than we have in front of us. We are here not only to create heaven on earth for ourselves, but to ensure that our posterity can take what we have built and then build upon it, so on and so forth. Okay. I am so pleased. I am so happy that we have so many people who feel as though, who know as though this is the right time. Right now, this is the time to take control of not just your financial literacy, but this is a time to control your entire life's paradigm. How do you want this to play out, brothers and sisters? How do you want this life from this point forward, going forward? How do you want your life to play out? Because you have a say so in that. You have to believe that you have a say so in that. You have to feel that you have a say so in that. And most importantly, you have to know that you are the captain of your ship. You are the sole creator of this experience. With the assistance and the backup of the Most High, you are using your faculties, you are using your senses, you are using your wherewithal, you are using your strength, you are using your education, you are using your financial literacy to create the type of world that you would like to live inside of. And we want to duplicate this process into infinity. We want to go long and we want to go wide. We want to pull in brothers and sisters, cousins, aunties, uncles, because again, this is a collaborative effort. We are not going to see the promised land without the assistance of our community, of our families, of our friends, of our colleagues, of our associates. This is a collaborative effort, family, and we must move in unison.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely,
absolutely.
man. I mean, you are just moving me over here. I'm over here driving. I'm getting to where I'm going. I had to jump on this call.
Minister
Yes,
Shantae.
yes. I am the minister of health here. Yes, I'm logging in. And I got to
Absolutely.
say, this seminar, I mean, and I have seen it. I've seen it 8 years ago. I've seen it 7 years ago. I've seen it 6 years ago. I've seen it 4 years
Mhm,
ago. And I mean, and
mhm.
he keeps building on it. And it was a really good time. The information, um, we definitely need it. And I'm in agreement. You know, we need to lead the gentrification process of our communities, since, as Ro always says, those our communities are the only ones left to redevelop. And it's important
Right.
that we do get in front of that initiative, as opposed to being on the back end begging for scraps or begging for some jobs or begging, so we want to empower people to, start your business. We need
That's right.
businesses in the communities as well. We need home ownership. We need them to pay into the property taxes that goes into the school system. So we need
Right.
all of those things. And so I definitely can't wait to see you all start your Keep It in the Family broadcast for that. So
Right
that's what you
on.
made me think of when you said we need to be telling our aunts and uncles and everything, because we got to keep it in the family. So I'm just
Gotta keep
glad
it
to
in
be
family.
here. And I'm going to make sure that other people jump on this call too. So I want to kind of jump in and say that. Um, yeah, that's what I want to
Excellent.
say.
Right on. I appreciate that. And man, just to reiterate and to reiterate to anyone who is already logged on, or to those who will log on later and play this back from the beginning and watch it again because you don't want to miss any jewels or information, that it is a collaborative effort. This is a family effort. Do not leave no person, no aunt, no uncle, no adult child, especially your adult children. If you got children from 18 to 20, whatever, that's still living with you, that's still in your house, still under your care, please, 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 it is more important that the youth get this message than you do. It is more important that your adult children, these teenagers, these 17, 18, 19, 20-year olds, 21-year olds, gets this information because they can start right now. Can you imagine if you got the jewels and the keys to financial literacy when you were 19 years old? And then from 19 on, you use that financial literacy, you use that education, you use these tools, you use these cheat codes to build out and to build wide and to build up and to go forward, not just in your anointing, not just in your purpose, but money up, credit tight, property owning, business open. Man, come on. We will change the conditions of our communities in one generation if we can get the youth to adopt this perspective, to adopt this paradigm. Do you feel what I'm saying? They are able to take this ball and to run all the way, to run the whole court with this. I was impressed by an elder, as a matter of fact, last Saturday at the Project 5000 Flip That Hood crash course. This elder, he was about 70, I believe he was. He started investing in real estate when he was 20. When he was 20. Right now, this man has a portfolio of at least a couple of dozen properties just in the United States. You heard me. Just in the United States. The man also has property and developments in Ghana and in another country. I cannot remember the name and I don't want to misspeak. So just know that he has properties. He is building. He has family in 3 different countries. I was thoroughly impressed. But what I was most impressed about is that he had the forethought. He had the gumption. He had the anointing when he was 20 to focus, to shut out the world and to focus on the development of his economic stability and the development of this real estate portfolio and the development of his paradigm. He started at 20 working on how his world was going to look when he was 70. You got to get this science. You got to get the science of that. And our young brothers and sisters, our young adults at 18, 19, 20, 21, especially in this generation, they are savvy. They are business minded. They are a little bit lazy. Okay, I got young adults myself. They can get a little bit lazy. However, they are coachable and they are business minded and they are open for this conversation. Don't think that they are not thinking about what's going to go on with life into adulthood just because they play a lot of video games or they're out with their friends a lot and things of that nature. All you have to do is remember when you were that age and remember the things that crossed your mind and the things that you debated about and the things that you contemplated on. It's all there. They're thinking. They think about the future. They think about what's going on. They can see. And they need someone to tap them and say, hey, I got you. All you have to do is follow this format. Follow this platform. Use these steps. Use these cheat codes. Okay? And you can use a financial education, a fiscal education to take yourself out of the rat race. Okay? And the earlier, the sooner, the better. Can you imagine a youngin, a 20, 21-year-old taking the next 10 years of their lives to focus on building a paradise paradigm for themselves? I used to tell my students often, I've resigned from education in some ways. I used to be a principal of high school for about 6 years. Last December was my last month there because I'm now focused wholly on flipping that hood, flipping that stock, and flipping this world's paradigm. But when I was a principal at that school, I used to tell the youth often, if you start right now at the age of 18, 19, 20, if you block out the world, okay, you're in it, but you don't have to be of it. You're in the world, but you don't have to be of it. If you can block out the world and you can focus on education, if you can focus on diet, if you can focus on your health, if you can focus on healthy, non-toxic relationships, okay? If you can focus on your fiscal education, if you can focus on getting your credit straight and give yourself a 7 to 8 year run just focused on those things, you will set yourself aside from 85 to 90% of the cohort that you are a part of, because you would have, in this instance, you would have created a paradise for yourself on this earth because you took 9 or 10 years to focus just solely on self and your growth and development and refinement. Man, do you know how cold-blooded you would be? Do you know how cold-blooded they would be? Oh my goodness. I'm 48 years old, and if I was given the tools and the jewels at 20, oh my God. Now, granted, I was on a nice spiritual level at the age of 18, 19, 20. Thank the ancestors and thank the Most High. But in terms of a fiscal education, in terms of knowing about the equities market, in terms of knowing about the real estate market, in terms of knowing about annuities and mutual funds and things of that nature, I hadn't the slightest, nor did my parents, nor were they teaching it in school. And you have to understand that in some other communities, the stock market is a part of dinner conversation. Okay. Real estate investment is a part of dinner conversation. How much is in a mutual fund is a part of dinner conversation. Okay. In some communities, these conversations are a mainstay. The education is there. And we have to be more apt to learning the things and pushing ourselves to learn the things that we need to learn, not just for ourselves, but for our children. Okay. You know, I'm a savvy person, a pretty educated person. But I will say I'm a little bit maybe above basic in terms of math from a college perspective. Okay. But if you don't use it, you lose it. And I can recall a time years ago when I was attempting to help my 16-year-old daughter. She was 16 at the time. She's 20 now, with a math problem that she was having trouble with. Man, I struggled. I struggled because I was like, I haven't looked at this type of math in I don't know how long. Okay. But you have to understand that it's about your conversation. It is about what you entertain on a regular basis. If I was the type of person who entertained and used math in the way that my daughter was attacking it from homework, if I used that math, if I was a part, like that was a part of my conversation every day, I would have no issue with math. Okay. If flipping houses and flipping stocks was a part of everyday conversation in the family, then it would be more a part of our everyday lives and experience in our family. If we talk more about what's best to eat, what's most nutritious to eat, what's most healthy to eat in an ongoing conversation in the family, then of course it's going to translate into healthier members of that family. Okay. If we want to change the course, the context of our lives, we have to change our conversations. And we have to teach our children that. If you want to change your life, family, change your conversation. What are you talking about? What do you contemplate? Okay. What vibration are you operating from? Are you operating from a high vibration? Are you operating from a low vibration, a vibration of fear, a vibration of doubt? You have to operate from the highest vibration that you can. You have to accept that you are the captain of your ship, and you have to accept that anything that needs to be done, you have the power to do. And we have to teach our children that as well. We have to change our conversations. And the New Life movement is proposing that we start to entertain a new paradigm around these different facets of life, around fiscal education, around housing and the real estate market, around spirituality, around health and diet, around politics. Okay. Because we have to understand that a lot of the ways and the thoughts and the perspectives and the preconceived notions that have been handed down generation after generation in our families, they are not working to put us where we need to be. We need a new life movement. We need a new way of looking at things. We need a new perspective. Okay. We need a fresh look. We need to see, we need to take into consideration the reality of things. And then, like a scientist, we need to research, we need to observe, we need to test some things out, and we need to come up with the best theories and ways of action that are going to put us at the top of that mountain, family, at the peak of our essence, at the peak of health, at the peak of wealth, at the peak of mindset, at the peak of spirit. We need to put ourselves on the peak, family. And the way that we're going to do that is to take these jewels, to take these lessons, to move in unison as a family, as a unit. Okay. And we are going to succeed. We're going to succeed. Okay. So that's a little bit about, maybe it's a lot about, but that is a little bit about what we got going on with Bot Project 5000 and a New Life Movement. This call is every Tuesday. We do not rehearse for these. There are no scripts. This is straight from the heart. This is straight from the consciousness. This is straight from our education. This is straight from our everyday conversations. This is what we do. This is who we are. There is no faking. There is no glitz. There is no glamour. What you see is what you get, and what you get and what you're going to get is a transformation in your life, in your community, family. And man, I'm excited. And once again, I've adopted the new word electrified, because that's how I felt Saturday. That's how I feel now. I feel electrified because you are energized when you are in the space, when you are in the company of your lights, all right, of your reflection, okay, of your tribe, all right, of your pride. We energize each other. We spiritually feed each other, okay? You know when you are in the right place at the right time because you feel it. And you can't fake a feeling. You can't fake the funk, all right? You know it when you feel it. Like Bob Marley used to say, okay? When you feel it, you know it, okay? I'm not talking about what comes out of a book per se. I'm talking about up in here. You know when you are in the right place at the right time. And Bot Project 5000 and the New Life Movement is here to tell you, family, that yes, you are not crazy. You are feeling a shift. You're not crazy. There's a shift going on. Okay? There is a transformation taking place. And yes, you are not crazy. We are all feeling it. But you have to take advantage of the shift. You can't just be like, oh, I feel a shift. Things are changing. And you don't change with the shift. You don't use this time to go from one level to the next. You don't use this time to vibrate higher. You're going to miss the boat. You're going to miss the train. You're going to miss the mother plane. You're going to miss the UFO. You're going to miss it. You're going to miss it because now is the time to jump on this wave of transformation. Okay. Whether you're talking about the transformation of wealth, okay, whether you're talking about the transformation of spirit, all right, whether you're talking about the transformation of the body through this new diet that you're going to adopt, that you're going to cut out the greasy foods, you're going to stop with the yearly New Year's resolutions that you just slide back on every year. You're going to finally say to yourself that, no, I'm going to take a stand because I realize that my body is my temple. I only get one. There is a time limit on it. And if I want to extend this time on this earth, and if I want to feel my best and I want to be around for my children and my grandchildren and things of that nature, then you, my brother, my sister, you are going to have to take in consideration what is best for you to put in your mouth, what is best for you to eat, what you should abstain from, what you should eat more of. Okay? This is the temple. This is the first temple. This is the main temple. And you only gonna get one. You're only gonna get one. And so the New Life movement says we need a new way of looking at the diet, because what I was listening to NPR, and this is a plug. I don't work for NPR, but 91.5 FM National Public Radio teaches you a lot. I would rather listen to NPR and old rock music than a lot of the nonsense that is coming on the radio stations, family. I'm just going to tell you the truth, okay? I'm not going to get on my soapbox about what our children are allowed to listen to, what our children are sanctioned to listen to, okay? But I will say, and again, reiterate that 91.5 FM is NPR, National Public Radio, and they are teaching and sharing news all day long. And so I was listening to NPR while I was driving around a couple of days ago, and they are projecting that by the year 2040, 85% of the United States population will be overweight or obese. And I'm like, huh? Like what? 85% by the year 2040? The majority of Americans will be dealing with some issue of obesity or being overweight. And I'm like, this is madness. This is madness. All right. But family, it starts with your diet. It starts with your diet. It starts with exercising. I don't care if it's just 2 minutes every day. Exercise. I don't care if it's just 1 minute every day. Exercise. If it's just 5 push-ups, if it's just 10 jumping jacks. The key is the consistency, not exactly how much you sweat for that day, not exactly how much you do, but keeping it consistent and having a mindset that exercise is now a part of my daily routine. This is my new life. My new life is about exercising. That's my new life. My new life incorporates exercising. Okay? My new life incorporates being conscious of what I am eating. I know it tastes good. I made it taste good. The restaurant made it taste good, but is it good for you? You got to be an adult. You got to be a big boy and a big girl, just like those of us who are parents, and we talk to our children about nutrition and things of that nature. You have to be your own parent in these instances and make sure that when you are pushing your cart down the grocery aisle, you are only putting what can benefit your temple into that grocery cart. Yeah, you might pull one of these, have to pull your hand back because you know you're about to reach for something that you ain't got no business whatsoever reaching for. But that's what we have to do, family. We have to
I used to tell people, to shop the perimeter of the grocery store, the perimeter, the produce section. When you start going into the aisles, you're in the land of processed foods. They're not really food at all. And you're talking about food, and we got a major holiday coming up right now. So a lot of people probably gonna take this with like a little grain of salt.
A little grain of salt.
We're gonna do this next week. So we could talk about diet next week. I was on a podcast last week where I wasn't able to join the opportunity call last Tuesday. Or Wednesday, I'm sorry, Wednesday, because I might have been on the other podcast on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just saying to that lady that hosted the podcast, I said, people are not going to like this, that when they do that prayer over their Thanksgiving meal, blessing the hands that prepared it and asking it for the nourishment of the body, like there's no nutritional value. There's no nutritional value in traditional soul food. And
that's right.
And it is what it is. So one of the things that I do every Thanksgiving is I make sure that I have fruit, that morning, maybe a salad that afternoon, because you already know we ain't eating till the night. So in most households, you pretty much starve the whole day because you skip all of that.
That's right. And then you get gluttonous at the end of the day. Yep.
like we waiting on the food to get fixed. So that's usually the first time you eat. But what I do is I make a habit of making sure that that morning I have some fruit, fresh fruits and vegetables, like, through the salad before I go to my mom's house or whatever family member's house that I go to be able,
Mhm.
I still participate in the culture and what we do, but I also
Yes.
know what the body needs. And what I would recommend to people is give the body what it needs first
Yes.
and then partake in Thanksgiving. But don't think that the Thanksgiving food is going to magically give you nutrients just because you paid for it to do so. That's
Exactly.
like that's not
Exactly.
how that works. And
That's not how it works.
no, it's not how it works.
It's not how it
Yeah.
works. It's not how it works.
But
And,
yeah,
and
definitely raw foods are the way to go. Fresh foods, not processed.
mhm.
If it's in a can, frozen, or that's a processed food. So
It's a
that's just by
processed food.
definition.
Yes,
So
right.
yeah, we definitely want to tell everyone to have an enjoyable holiday weekend,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
enjoy
That's
the
right.
food, but get back and get ready to get active,
Hmm.
right after it and turn over that new leaf. I think
That's
that
right.
Roland was trying to say something about flipping the diet. That's
Hmm.
something he mentioned before.
Hmm.
But that's what I wanted to just give that little tip to people that I do every
Yeah,
Thanksgiving. Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, man. I mean, it's really, really, really important. It's really important. I would venture to say as well, family, it's important to continue, like Dr. Shante says, important to continue with those customs. It's important to continue with those traditions because one thing that has happened because of a lot of the trauma in a lot of our communities and some of the things that we have been through as a people together. Uh, that family gathering, those holiday meal parties and things of that nature. There are so many people who don't have the pleasure of being a part of those, and it's sad, there, especially the youth. There's so many youth, there's so many young people right now uh who are not going to experience that traditional family gathering type of vibe this week with all of the trimmings and all of the fixings and the laughter and the jokes and seeing the auntie from this time around, the uncle and things. And my heart goes out to you. If you are one of those people, my heart goes out to the youth because a lot of them are coming up in families and households that are just not keeping with those types of traditions. And so it's actually interesting when I was at the school where I was the principal. It was our tradition to feed the students in that family tradition type of way the day before we let them out for their Thanksgiving break, just in case they were not going to experience that the following day. So we made sure as a
Right.
school we provided that experience for them, all of the fixings. We would take the lunch tables and we would dress them up, and there would be like little candle lights and tablecloths, and there would be a spread
Oh,
that they would just
wow.
line up in and just get whatever they wanted to get. And we would have the music on and have some games over in the back. And it was something that was a tradition, and we did that without fail every single school year because, again, we were a part of an alternative charter school, and just by default, we received the brunt. We received the majority of young folk who had issues in their former schools or who had issues at home that caused them to have to leave their schools or deal with truancy and the whole bit. And so we had our fair share of, by default, young children and young brothers and sisters who just weren't going to have that type of family experience. We wanted to make sure that we provided that for them. Okay. And so yeah, family. Hey, let's do this. It's about 7:45. It is 15 minutes before we are supposed to end the call. I want to remind you that we do this every Tuesday from 7 to 8. We
Yep.
open up pretty much the same way. However, flip that hood and our umbrella organization and movement, the New Life Movement, we have a lot of things to cover and a lot of things to talk about. And so You don't have to worry about this call ever being a monotone type of call. Always just talking about flipping that stock, because again, this is a movement, and there are a myriad of things that we have to discuss, that we have to clarify, we have to get clear on.
Absolutely.
But this is your opportunity to do this as a collective, because we know the things that we're talking about on this call. You're having these conversations. If you happened upon this because you're on this call, or you happened upon it because you saw one of us share it on one of our personal Facebook pages, it resonated with you, and there's a reason why it resonated with you. Do not overlook the fact that it resonates with you. Get closer. Come on in.
Yeah.
Join the conversation, family. All right, because again, we need you. We need each other to make this thing work. All right. And yes, we want to flip some houses. Yes, we want to buy up some blocks. Yes, we want to open up some new businesses. Yes, we want to employ our youth, our ex offenders, and our elders who cannot afford to retire. Yes, we want to start our own schools. Yes, but until we are able to get a command of our economic strength, our economic independence, we won't be able to branch out into those other facets. So yes, we're always going to stress the fact that the real estate market, and to a lesser degree the stock market, but the real estate market is our key to building this wealth. It is
Yeah.
our key to leaving generational wealth. It is our key to being able to fund our businesses. It is our key to being able to contribute to our politicians' campaigns. So when it's time to pull the coattail on, hey, remember what you said you were supposed to do for us, there is no question as to who is being, or who is pulling the coattail. Oh yeah, you see us. You see us. You know us. And you know how much we contributed to that campaign. Oh man, this is deep, family. The rabbit hole goes deep. And we don't want to drop you in that rabbit hole too far, too fast. And so we want to make sure that you become a part of this conversation. You start to get your credit straight. You start to use these cheat codes. Matter of fact, let me bag up a little bit. Roland Davis has two things that you can take advantage of right now. Number one, you need to buy the copy of his book, The Cheat Codes. Flip that hood, the cheat codes. It is going to blow your mind, because it's going to demystify for you what it takes to become an investor. And I'll reiterate, and you hear us reiterate over and over and over again. You do not have to have a 700 plus credit score to get into this game. You do not have to have $10,000 to $15,000 down on a piece of property to get into this game. You do not have to have a co-signer to get into this game. You do not have to be an expert in flipping that hood or real estate or anything like that to get into this game. You do not need a realtor's license to get into this game. All you need to do is to buy this book, become a part of these conversations, be at the next Flip That Hood crash course, and you will start to see just how you plug in to this process and to this opportunity, because this is an opportunity for you, brothers and sisters. All right. So with that being said, it's 10 minutes left. If we have anybody on the call that would like to jump on and or jump into the chat and pose a question, I would love to answer that for you. Just jump right on, and we'll get right into it.
Okay, well, I didn't see any questions from any of the members, but I did want to just piggyback off of what you were saying. The next live event we do have tentatively scheduled for Saturday, February 1st, 2025. So we are starting off Black History Month with a live Flip That Hood seminar.
Excellent.
And yeah, so we do have that coming. And so in the next, well, I guess in the last couple minutes, we're just going to play the video from Roland's Taking Back the Block. So just to remind everybody in case they haven't seen it before.
Excellent. Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that. It's just a couple minutes before we close out.
What's up, Facebook, YouTube? It's your favorite entrepreneur and activist, your boy, Ro Davis. Listen, I'm out here on the block that we're going to buy together. I am going to demonstrate how we take my amazing course, my new book, Fix, Flip, and Own, and how we work with the city and we work together to buy the block. Now, if you know my story, then you know that I took $1,000 and built $1 million portfolio. The only reason why we're not working together and already doing this is because you don't have the cheat code. You don't have the information and you don't have the leadership. I'm going to show us how we can pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and we can do this together using my official blueprint for my course and my book. I want to show you this block. It's vacant lots everywhere. I'm not going to disclose the location, but I'm going to walk the block and show you there's at least 30 or more vacancies on this block. This entire block got to be rehab. And I say, why not us? When I show you guys this blueprint, it's going to be a game changer. Look at all the vacancies on this block. I guarantee you it's no more than 5 families living on this entire block. What if we could do this together? What if we didn't have money as an obstacle? I am working to acquire the land and the block, and we're going to take the official blueprint that I've created, and I'm going to show you how we mobilize and work together and connect our politicians and all of the moving parts so that we can own our communities. We don't need outside people to gentrify us. We can gentrify our own communities. We just have to learn to work together. Now, you may be saying, well, black people ain't gonna do shit together. That's some black people. Fuck them. Let's take the black people who are willing to work together and let's lock arms and let's prove the world wrong. This ain't gonna be fake like the Mike Tyson fight. And much shout out to Mike Tyson. That nigga showed his ass before the whole world. I love it. But anyway, just look at how many vacancies there are. Do y'all see this? We're going to take the whole block. I need you to join me on November 23rd at Insight Hospital, the Old Mercy, from 10 to 3. I'm going to give my course, I'm going to launch my book, and I'm going to create some co-developers. There are probably about 30 vacancies on this block. What if we took 10 to 15 people who was willing to do 1 to 2 properties apiece, and we divided the risk? We could transform this community and this block overnight. It would raise the property values of everybody's investment. And even better than that, what if we did all this shit with $1,000 investment? Y'all didn't hear me. I'm a proof that I'm the GOAT, the greatest of all time, baby, in this real estate game. This ain't nothing I made up. This is something that I've been working on for the last 20 years. I'm your brother. I'm going to see y'all this Saturday. Don't forget, you can come in person. We only got 100 seats though, and they're going quick. Or you can join virtually. Or you can just take the course today because it's digital and it's up and going. I'm your boy. Peace.
Excellent.
All right.
All right.
Well,
All
that
right.
was about this last Saturday. So we're going to, he always kicking out videos. So we'll have something else to show people in case they haven't seen it. We just want to remind everybody to make sure that they are following Flip That Hood on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. the New Life Movement Ministries, Black Coffee Political Alliance, the Bop Biz Center. All of those organizations are a part of the larger organization of the New Life Movement Ministry. So we just want to remind you that when you see one of them, that's all of us. It's just different organizations doing different things. And just as Minister Tony said, this is going to be a comprehensive call. We have a lot of things to talk about and a lot of things to bring everybody up to speed on. We're just doing it one thing at a time. And right now, reclaiming the land in our communities just happens to be one of the first things that we want to do. But we are going to continue the conversation and open it up for more people to join the organization in the different organizations and the different ministries that we have under the New Life, under the umbrella, I should say, of the New Life Movement Ministries.
Right. Absolutely.
And so I guess that we are coming to our last, what do you like to leave it with? The now or never? That's the one.
Now or never. Hey, that's apt. That would be apt.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Well, we just want to remind everybody to come back next Tuesday. You know, we got a lot to talk about. Don't be shy. You can ask questions. You can jump in the comments. You can even jump in the comments on the other platforms. Like, we will see them. But you all are still invited to the webinar.
Absolutely. Hey, family, whenever the sun is not shining outside, make sure it's shining inside of you, hot and bright for all to feel and see. Minister Sante and Minister Tony of the New Life Movement, Flip That Hood, bidding you all a very wonderful night, wonderful weekend and holiday. Man, we'll see you back here Tuesday, 7 o'clock sharp. Peace and love. Let's get it, y'all.
Now and never. Right now I'm smoking brushes. Now and never. Classic classes, this a lecture. Now and never. PhD bars, been professor. Now and never. I dove deep in my bag, I'm talking head first. Now and never. About 5,000 is the answer. Now and never. Monday night magic dance. Now and never. Took the red pill and up my standard. Now and never. I'm just building our posterity. 2 hands, little mama got dexterity. Give me clarity. Time to build a foundation through these charities. I made money, my bitch, I told her marry me. Had to regrow my green, it looked like celery. I'm just flipping all these bricks without no felony. Joe is cooked up on this beat, this a recipe. I believe in myself, I invest in me. It's now or never, this my destiny. First person shooter, feel like destiny. Thermoscope, I aim steadily. Driving for dollars, I'm in Beverly. Made my own films, no academy. You my brothers and my sisters, we all family. Who tricked us into treating each other savagely? Now and never. It's now and never. Now and never. Right now I'm smoking precious. Now and never. Classic classes, this a lecture. Now and never. PhD bars, been professor. Now and never. I dove deep in my bag, I'm talking head first. Now and never. About 5,000 is the answer. Now and never. Monday night magic dance. Now and never. Took the red pill and up my standard. Now and never. It's a rogue wave, I got you surfing. Been building this since 99, flicking and earthing. Lambo life a river dirty. Time to take our future back, nigga, no mercy. If you wanna be baby, I'll turn you to jerky. I left my ex, but it still hurt me. My heart broke, no, it's not working. Rolled up some pressure, we submerging. She grabbed my shifter and reversed it. She a practitioner, head of nursing. No, that's not my first show, I've been rehearsing. This dripping got you drowning, it's immersive. Bars make you believe in yourself, they coercive. AMS told me focus on my purpose. Know the feds watching these bars make them nervous. Kill the bitch, shimmy, yeah, I might need some hearses.